Hello everyone. Now today we are going to start a new topic, shikimic acid pathway. What is shikimic acid pathway uh, and amino acid pathway? What is their importance and what is how they are going to isolate from the plants, and we are going to discuss about shikimic acid pathways. What is the general pathway? What is the objective? First of all, we are going to discuss about the objective of cyclic acid pathway. The objective of this course unit is to study the introduction of different metabolic pathway. Actually, cyclic acid pathway, it is a metabolic pathway, and amino acid pathway is also metabolic pathway in higher plants, and their determination, chemistry and utilization of metabolic pathways, cyclic acid pathways, and what kind of learning outcomes students were able to understand the knowledge of metabolic pathway, cyclic acid pathway, and amino acid pathway, and what is their importance. And we are going to discuss about how they are involved in formation of glycosides and alkaloids, tannins, and vanillins, flavonoids, in everything. How they are these metabolites are going to work. All these points we are going to discuss. First of all, what is cyclic acid pathway? Before starting this chapter, I would like to introduce about cyclic acid. What is cyclic acid? We are going to see the structure of cyclic acid in this PPT. There is a one C double bond OH group, and three resting OH group are available. The cyclic acid, it is a key key intermediate of carbohydrate for the biosynthesis of C6C3 units. You can say phenyl propane derivatives. Beside the serving of precursor for the biosynthesis of amino acids, cyclic acid and their intermediates, products of tannins, flavons, and coumarins and vanillin. In general pathway, what how it is going to derived, we are going to see when phosphophenol pyruvate plus erythros for phosphate, they are going to react, and they are going to combine, and they are going to form 2 keto 3 deoxy 7 phospho glucoheptonic acid, heptonic acid. And this glucoheptonic acid now then fragmented into two parts, 3-dehydropunic acid and cyclic acid, 3-hydrocyclic acid. And this, in this structure, 3-hydrocyclic acid, instead of OH group, which is seen here near meta dash position, we can say lateral side of OH group. When this double bonds is come here, and this hydrogen is removed, and there is ketonic moiety is available. This structure is called 3-dehydrocyclic acid. It is commonly known as anionic form of cycmates, which I have said is the cyclohexene and cytol and cyclohexane carboxylic acid functional group, and it is the important of biochemical metabolite in the plants and microorganisms. It its name comes from the Japanese flower shikimi. It is the Japanese star Anis ilium anstema, from which the first isolated in 1885 by the Johns Frederick Kirkman, and the elucidation of this structure is made by the 50 years later. And cyclic acid is also the glycosides part of some hydrolyzable tannins, means it is also found in some glycoside as well as in some tannins. Now, the cyclic pathway is the 7-step metabolic route of bacteria, fungi, algae, parasites, plants for the biosynthesis of aromatic amino acids, phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan. What is the meaning of this sentence? Just simply, we can understand. by the help of a general laid diagram. Just when sugar molecule, which convert into polysaccharide nucleic acid, and through the pentose phosphate, they are going to form succinic acid. And when sugar molecule are going to hydrolyze through hydrolysis, yeah, sorry, through glycolysis, they are converted into phosphophenol pyruvate. This phosphophenol pyruvate convert into pyruvate, and that pyruvate comes in TCA cycle. Yeah, you can say convert into TCA cycle. That TCA cycle having two steps. First step is malonyl coenzyme A and acetyl coenzyme A. These malonyl coenzyme A form fatty acids, that is called lipids, and acetyl coenzyme is going to form steroidal isoterpenoid series. Now, in case of through pentose phosphate pathway, when they are going to form citric acid metabolites like tannin, like flavonoids, like lignans, like tannin, vanillin, and aromatic amino acid proteins and their aliphatic acids are formed in the peptide alkaloids components. Now, what is the sorry. Now we will see again here phosphophenol pyruvic acid and erythros 4-phosphate. Both are combined and they form 2-keto 3-deoxy for 7-phospho D glucoheptonic acid. And this heptonic 7-glucoheptonic acid then converted into 3-dehydroquinic acid. And this 3-dehydroquinic acid converted into 3-dehydrocyclic acid. Now this 3-dehydrocyclic acid again has changes, and one hydrogen is comes from this one side, and it will form OH group instead of ketonic moiety. That one form cyclic acid. This cyclic acid is then converted into cyclic acid 3-phosphate. When at the position of OH group, there is phosphate group is going to attach, and then phosphate group is going to attach, then this molecule is formed coracimic acid, and then coracimic acid then converted into prephenic acid, and prephenic acid is again converted into phenyl pyruvic acid and para hydroxyphenyl pyruvic acid. These compounds form phenylalanine and tyrosine, which is used in formation of various amino acids because they are amino acids. So they are used for the synthesis of various protein substance. So coracimic acid, which is converted into anthranilic acid, and anthranilic acid and converted into tryptophan. This anthranilic acid converted into tryptophan. We can again understand this thing. This pathway starts from citric acid, then citric acid converted into coracimic acid and prephenic acid. In coracimic acid, we can see the structure of coracimic acid. Uh, Instead of OH group, it having C double bond CH group, CH2 group, and C double bond OH group. And this coracimic acid is converted into anthranilic acid, and anthranilic acid has some kind of changes and attach one structure also, and it form an indole moiety, and that is converted into tryptophan. And now in prephenic acid, it form phenyl pyruvic acid and para hydroxyphenyl pyruvic acid, and this para hydroxy phenyl pyruvic acid are converted into tyrosine, and another one is converted into phenylalanine moiety. So this is the production of amino acid by cyclic acid pathway. So this is the basic mechanism of cyclic acid pathway. Now we can see phosphophenol pyruvate and erythros 4-phosphate react to form 2-keto 3-deoxy 7-phosphoglucoheptonic acid. In the reaction catalyzed by the enzyme, TAHP synthase. We can see in the structure also phosphophenol pyruvic acid plus erythros 4 phosphate, which converted into 2 keto 3 deoxy 7 phospho d heptanoic acid, and that one converted into 3 hydrocunic acid. 2 keto 3 deoxy 7 glucohepatonic acid is then transformed into 3 dehydrocunic acid, means DHQ, in the reaction catalyzed by DHQ synthase. When DHQ synthase react, then it will form 3 hydrocunic acid. And although this reaction require the nicotinamide adenine dinucleotides, that is called NAD, as a cofactor for the enzymatic mechanism, regenerate its result and net use of no NAD. Next, DHQ is dehydrated to 3-dehydrocyclic acid. By this enzyme, 3-dehydrocunic acid, cunic dehydrogenase, which is reduced to cyclic acid by the enzyme cycmate dehydrogenase, which uses the nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphomide as a cofactor. So you can see 3-dehydroquinic acid converted into 3-dehydrocyclic acid, and this 3-hydrocyclic acid is converted into cyclic acid. So the next enzyme involves cycmate kinase, an enzyme that catalyzes the ATP-dependent phosphorylation of cycmate to form cycmate 3-phosphate. Cycmate 3-phosphate is then coupled with the phosphoenol pyruvate to give 5-phosphoenol pyruvic cycmate 3-phosphate via the enzyme 5-phosphoenol pyruvyl cycmate 3 phosphate EPSP synthase, and then the 5-enol pyruvyl cycmate 3-phosphate is transformed into corecimate by the corecimate synthase. So we can see cyclic acid is again converted into cyclic acid 3-phosphate, and cyclic acid 3-phosphate converted into corecimic acid. So this is the complete biosynthesis of cyclic acid, how the corecimic acid is going to form and how the cyclic acid is going to form. The metabolic process for the glycosides formation is essential in the consist of two parts. The part of biosynthesis of the reaction mean by the various types of aglycosides are formed, and where the other part of biosynthesis process takes the account metabolic pathway involving the coupling of a glycone and sugar moiety. When a glycone and sugar moiety is combined, then the glycosides are complete glycosides are formed. Now prephenic acid is then synthesized by the Clinson rearrangement of corecimate by the corecimate mutase enzyme. So what would be happen when corecimic acid is treated with the corecimic acid has rearrangement in this structure? We can see the form prephenic acid. This prephenic acid is oxidatively decarboxylated by the retention of hydroxyl group by prephenate dehydrogenase to give a para hydroxyphenyl pyruvate, which is transmitted using the glutamate as a nitrogen source to give tyrosine and alpha ketoglutarate. So we can see here the prephenic acid is then converted into phenyl pyruvic acid and para hydroxyphenyl pyruvate. The phenyl pyruvic acid on reductive deamination means there is reduction and the process of deamination, then the phenylalanine is going to form, and when para hydroxyphenyl pyruvic acid in this structure, it is formed tyrosine. It is from tyrosine. So Prefenic acid. Prefenic acid is oxidatively decarboxylated first, then retention of the hydroxyl group by prephenate dehydrogenase to give a para-hydroxy phenyl pyruvate, which is which is transaminated using glutamate. Using glutamate means glutamic acid is going to attach here, and as the nitrogen source, because glutamate provides the nitrogen, that is why the phenylalanine is going to form, and as a source of tyrosine and keto alpha ketoglutarate is alpha ketoglutarate is provided, and it will form phenylalanine. So this is the cyclic acid pathway. In a brief manner, we will revise first cyclic acid pathway. What would be happen? Phosphoenol pyruvate, yeah, phosphoenol pyruvic acid plus erythros for phosphate. They are going to bind, and they form 2 keto 3 deoxy 7 phospho glucoheptonic acid and 7 glutonic acid, then converted into 3-deoxycunic acid, and 3-deoxycunic acid with the help of enzyme, uh, and after that it will form 3-dehydrocyclic acid. This 3-hydrocyclic acid is converted into cyclic acid by the reduction in the ketonic moiety and form OH function group, and it will form cyclic acid. And once the cyclic acid is going to form, the cyclic acid is converted into corasemic acid and prefenic acid. In corasemic acid, there are some kind of changes with the help of some mutase enzyme, and it will form anthranilic acid. In anthranilic acid, benzene ring and C double bond OH group and NH2 group here, and it will converted into tryptophan. It will converted into tryptophan with the help of alpha keto gluconic acid, and it will form tryptophan. In tryptophan, we can see here benzene ring, you can say indole ring here, and next one is prefenic acid. In prefenic acid, it will be converted into phenyl pyruvic acid and 7-hydrophenyl pyruvic acid, and this 7-hydrophenyl pyruvic acid is going to form tyrosine, and phenyl pyruvic acid has changes, and it will form phenylalanine function group. So these are the amino acids are going to form with the help of uh, cyclic acid, and apart from them, the cyclic acid pathway is responsible for synthesis of various metabolite like tannins, like flavonoids, like vanillin, like lignan, and apart from them, the pyruvate is also responsible for synthesis of amino acids, and we will see in the amino acid pathway also. All these steps we will see here in case of amino acid pathway. So now we are going to start another pathway in higher plants, and metabolic pathway of in higher plants and their utilization with the amino acid pathway. The role of cyclic acid pathway. What is the role of cyclic acid pathway? Starting point in the biosynthesis of some phenolics, means in this structure there are some phenolic function group is also available. So these function group are responsible for synthesis of uh, amino acid pathway. The phenylalanine and tyrosine are the precursor for biosynthesis of phenylalanine. So phenylalanine, which I have also seen in previous slide, how they are going to work. So phenylalanine and tyrosine are used. So the propanoids are then the used or to produce the flavonoids, coumarin, tannin, and lignan. The gallic acid biosynthesis, gallic acid is found in tannin. So gallic acid is the formed by the 3-dehydrocycmate by the action of enzyme cycmate dehydrogenase. This question has been asked in the exams. Gallic acid is formed with the help of which enzyme? The answer is cycmate dehydrogenase, because many of the students are unable to remember this thing. Cycmate dehydrogenase is used only for synthesis of cyclic acid. No, gallic acid is formed with the help of 3-dehydrocyclamate by the enzyme cyclamate dehydrogenase to produce 3,5-dihydrocyclamate. The latter compound is spontaneously rearranged to form gallic acid. And other compound cyclic acid precursor for indole because we have seen tryptophan. In tryptophan indole moiety is available, so indole derivative and aromatic amino acid tryptophan and tryptophan derivatives such as physidylic compound of dimethyl tryptamine and many compounds with the other aromatic metabolites are available. Now we are going to start the introduction regarding amino acid pathway. Before understanding this thing, we are going to give some brief lines for the introduction point of view, because in amino acid pathway there are some precursor which we are using some other pathway like acetate pathway, like mevalonate pathway. So we are just giving some brief introduction here. So all amino acids and their derivative of intermediate glycolysis and citric acid cycle and pentose phosphate. Pentose phosphate pathway, the nitrogen enter these pathway by the glutamate and glutamine. Means nitrogen should be entered with the help of glutamate, because glutamate having nitrogen functionality or glutamine, the organism vary greatly in their ability to synthesize 20 common amino acids, whereas the most bacteria and plant can synthesize all 20. Mammals can synthesize about half of them. Actually, in mammals, 12 amino acids are generally synthesized. In half of them generally those with the simple pathway of non-essential amino acids, and no need in diet, because there are we can call essential and non-essential. Non-essential means those amino acids which can we can obtain from the diet, that is called non-essential, and essential are those which are unable to obtain from diet and the body is going to synthesize, that is called essential amino acids. Now next one thing, uh, the remainder of essential amino acids must be obtained from the food. Essential and non-essential amino acids for human being, there is a chart, we can understand this thing, and sometimes this question will ask in exams that which is the essential and which of these is non-essential amino acid. So arginine, histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and vanillin. These are the amino acids which are essential, and some non-essential like alanine, asparagine, aspartate, cysteine, glutamate, glutamine, glycine, proline, serine, and tyrosine. So arginine is essential for infant and children's. The most synthesized arginine by ornithine via the urea cycle, and cysteine gets the sulfur from atom from the methionine, and tyrosine is hydroxylated by the phenylalanine, and so it is not a real non-essential of compound. Amino acid synthesis. In amino acid synthesis is the set of biochemical process, metabolic pathway by which the amino acids are produced. The substrate for these process are the various compound in the organism diet and growth media. Now all organisms are unable to synthesize all amino acids. We know very well. For example, human body can synthesize only 11 of the 20 standard amino acids. Actually 21 amino acids are available, instead of them 12, but some books are still writing 11 amino acids. So I have written here 11, but instead of 20, 21 amino acids are found, and 12 amino acids are synthesized by human body. uh, that is called non-essential amino acids, and the in time accelerated growth histidine can be considered as an essential amino acid. Now we can see here with the help of this graph, we can see here in this chart glucose. There is the glycolysis cycle. What would be happen? Glucose converted into glucose 6 phosphate with the help of hexokinase enzyme, and glucose 6 phosphate converted into 3 phosphoglycerate, means 3 Pg compound is going to form, and that one is again going to converted into phosphoenol pyruvate, that is called PEP, and this phosphoenol pyruvate converted into pyruvate, and that one pyruvate is essential for synthesis of alanine, vanillin, isoleucine, and leucine, and this pyruvate comes into the citric acid cycle, yeah, TCA cycle. In citric acid cycle, this pyruvate is take up by the citric acid pathway, and it will convert it into citrate. This citrate having some pathway, and it will convert it into alpha ketoglutarate, and that alpha ketoglutarate converted into glutamate, and glutamate converted into glutamine, proline, arginine. Alpha ketoglutarate is converted into oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate form aspartate, and aspartate, apart from them, asparagine, methionine, threonine, lysine, they are going to form by these amino acids are formed in the TCA cycle, and rest of them we can say erythrose 4 phosphate again converted into 3 phosphoenol glycerate, which is taken up by this, and it will converted into PEP and then pyruvate. So erythrose 4 phosphate majorly they are going to form phenylalanine. We have seen cyclic acid pathway also, phenylalanine, tyrosine, and tryptophan. And apart from them, glucose 6 phosphate having some 4 steps reaction. In this is a reaction, it will form ribose 5 phosphate. Ribose 5 phosphate actually responsible for synthesis of histidine and serine. Histidine and serine. Histidine is responsible for synthesis of histamine. Histamine, which is an autocoid. You can say local hormone, which is responsible for secretion, which is responsible for contraction of cell, as well as it causes inflammation. It causes release of acid in our stomach. So it histidine is form histamine. That is the another thing, and it will convert also form serine. And pyruvate is responsible for synthesis of alanine, vanillin, isoleucine, and leucine. So this is the major cycle of this pathway. In this pathway we can understand all 20 amino acids are going to form: histidine, serine, vanillin, isoleucine, lysine, glutamine or arginine, and proline, and aspartame, and lysine, methionine, tryptophan, phenylalanine, and last one is asparagine. So all these amino acids are going to form with the help of glycolysis cycle, TCA cycle, as well as ribose 5 phosphate cycle. Yeah, you can say erythrose 4 phosphate 4 EP cycle. So these amino acids are going to synthesize in the plant as well as in the animals. Now we can see in Krebs cycle what kind of steps. In previous slide we have seen some brief and important steps, but how all amino acids are going to synthesize in which step, we are going to understand from this Krebs cycle. When acetyl coenzyme A combined with the citrate, and it is responsible for synthesis of fatty acid and sterols, which is responsible for synthesis of cholesterol in our body, and this citrate is converted into isocitrate. There is six means 6 carbon ring structure, and in isocitrate is unstable compound, and it readily converted into alpha ketoglutarate. With the help of NAD plus, it converted into NADH and H1, H1, and it will form alpha ketoglutarate. And in this structure, there is one carbon loss, and it will C6 to C5 by the alpha ketoglutarate. And alpha ketoglutarate is responsible for synthesis of glutamine, and glutamine it is a compound Yeah, it is amino acid which is also used in synthesis of nucleotides in means adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, and as well as in other amino acid synthesis. And now alpha ketoglutarate is again converted into succinyl coenzyme A with the help of succinyl coenzyme A and NAD plus. And in this step, when alpha ketoglutarate converted into succinyl coenzyme A, CO2 is released. When the CO2 is released, that time a carbon loss is occur. Same in isocitrate converted into alpha ketoglutarate, CO2 is released, then a carbon loss. Then alpha ketoglutarate converted into succinyl coenzyme A, then one carbon loss due to release of CO2. And now succinyl coenzyme A form succinate with the help of ADP converted into ATP. ADP converted into ATP, and here two molecule of GTP is also formed. So it will form succinyl coenzyme A form succinate, and succinate is converted into fumarate. In fumarate, there are four carbon ring structure, FAD and FADH2, and they are going to form fumarate. Fumarate is converted into malate with the when water molecule is going to attach here, and in the meanwhile, malate is converted into oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate is responsible for synthesis of aspartate, and aspartate is responsible for synthesis of nucleotides as well as some other amino acids. So in this Krebs cycle, we are going to see some specific amino acids, how they are going to synthesize in our body. Apart from them, cholesterol synthesis, sterol synthesis, and glutamate synthesis, which is responsible for nucleotide synthesis, aspartate synthesis, we have going to see in the Krebs cycle pathway. Now, carbohydrate utilization. When carbohydrate utilization, we are going to talk about carbohydrate utilization. The storage carbohydrates such as starch of the plant or glycogen of the animals is made available for the energy production by the process of glycolysis and TCA. As the result of this energy-rich carbohydrate eventually oxidize, they are break down into CO2 and water. During this process, the hydrogen atom is liberated or carried out by the coenzyme into the cytochrome system, in which energy is released in the stage with the possible formation of ATP and ADP in the inorganic phosphate. Eventually, the hydrogen combined with the oxygen to form water. The overall reaction of glucose in terms of ADP and ATP is, what is the basic reaction? Glucose formula C6H12O6 plus 6 mole of CO2 plus 38 ADP plus 38 phosphate, which is found in organic phosphate, and they are going to convert it into 6 mole of water, then CO2, 6 mole of CO2, and then 38 molecules of ATP. When we are going to see the breakdown of all these process, then 36 ATP net 36 ATP is going to synthesize in TC cycle, and remaining ATP are going to form in anaerobic cycle of glycolysis. Then net growth in net profit of 2 ATP, then 36 plus 2 ATP is called 38. But in both process, glucose is going to break down and glucose is converted into pyruvic acid, and then it will comes into the TC cycle, and the net total ATP number is 38 ATP is going to synthesize. Now the primary and secondary metabolite derived from the carbon metabolism, what would be occur? We can see from this chart. In this pathway, both things are covered, means shikimic acid plus amino acid pathway. Now sugar molecule, when the sugar molecule which having C6H12O6 compound, so C6H12O6 is going to break down, and through the glycosylasis cycle through pentose phosphate pathway, and it will form shikimic acid pathway. And in shikimic acid pathway, shikimic acid metabolites tannine, vanillin, lignan, flavonoids, they are going to synthesize. And apart from them, aromatic amino acids, aliphatic amino acids, they are obtained from the peptide chain. And in phosphoenol pyruvate, they are converted into pyruvate and they comes into the Krebs cycle, a TCA cycle, and they are going to synthesize a mullinoid coenzyme A, which we have seen, and they are responsible for synthesis of fatty acids, uh, and they are going to synthesize lipids. And in TCA cycle, what would be seen? Acetyl coenzyme A, it converted into mullinoic acid and steroid isoprenate isovinate. So there is the basic chain in the photosynthesis process of plant metabolites are going to synthesize. Primary carbon metabolism occur by the help of erythrose 4-phosphate. Erythrose 4-phosphate converted into cyclic acid pathway. Cyclic acid pathway then form aromatic amino acids, and amino acids are responsible for nitrogen containing secondary metabolite like alkaloids, glucosinoids and cyanogenetic glycosides synthesis. And next one is in primary carbon metabolism, phosphophenol pyruvates, they converted into they form tricarboxy TCA cycle, and this TCA cycle is formed aliphatic amino acids. In aliphatic amino acids are again going to synthesize alkaloid, glucosinolates and cyanogenetic glycosides. In pyruvate, acetyl coenzyme A, mullinic acid, and they will form phenolic compounds, flavonoids, coumarin, lignan, tannins. So they are going to synthesize. Next one thing, pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A form two pathway, mevalonic acid pathway and malonic acid pathway. In malonic acid pathway, they are going to form phenolic compounds like flavonoids, coumarin, lignan, tannins. And in mevalonic acid pathway, terpenoids compound, example, isoprene, saponin, monoditerpenoids, carotenoids, and phytohormones. In 3-phosphoglycerate, it is formed MEP pathway, and it will form terpenoids compound. In terpenoids compound, all terpenoids compound like isoprenoids, like saponin glycosides, like carotenoid, like phytohormones. What is the difference between primary and secondary metabolite? We need to understand this point because multiple choice question has been formed here in competition. So what is primary metabolite and what is secondary metabolite? They are involved in normal growth and development and reproduction. Primary metabolite, they involve in normal growth of the plant or animal, development and reproduction. Secondary metabolite, they are not directly involved in the normal growth of the plant, development and reproduction. Example of primary metabolites are carbohydrate, fat, protein. If the substance is not formed, then secondary metabolites are not formed, because secondary metabolite always dependent on primary metabolite. Example of secondary metabolites like alkaloids, tannin, resin, gums, and latex. They are not poisonous. Some of these compounds are poisonous. Primary metabolites are never poisonous because they are essential for plant growth. While in secondary metabolites, some of are poisonous for plant as well as for animals also. But secondary metabolites some protect the plant when if they are poisonous and their secretion is the taste is very bad, then animal is unable to eat the plant. So they help to save the plant life. So indirectly they are going to help, and not on this thing, they also help in the development of plant. When the plant is going to develop, then secondary metabolites are formed. Secondary metabolites generally we can say they are secretory substances. Means they are these are the compounds which are not essential compounds, but they are essential. Biosynthesis pathway of secondary metabolites. Biosynthesis pathway of secondary metabolite always follow three pathways. Cyclic acid pathway, which today we are going to study. Acetate mevalonate pathway, we have discussed in previous classes. Acetate mevalonate pathway. In this pathway, cholesterol, yeah, you can say lipids are going to form. In acetate mevalonic acid, we are going to discuss about how to synthesize of cholesterol, dehydrocholesterol. Then cholesterol is going to perform with the help of lanosterol, and they are going to change in their structure, and after that, cholesterol is going to form. Acetate mevalonate pathway. This is also important pathway for synthesis of some kind of alkaloids, and these are the three basic mechanisms which involve in this chapter or in this unit. So we have discussed about cyclic acid pathway. We have discussed about amino acid pathway. In cyclic acid pathway, they are going to synthesize lignans, flavonoids, tannins, and in amino acid pathway, we are going to synthesize amino acids, essential and non-essential. We have studied in essential how they are going to form by the help of glycolysis and TCA cycle. In TCA cycle, cholesterol as well as our amino acids are going to form in various steps. So these are the secondary plant metabolite, and we have also to understand about the definition of primary metabolite as well as secondary metabolite. Primary metabolite always help in plant growth, plant development, and plant reproduction. Secondary metabolite are indirectly help. You can say they are help indirectly, they are not directly involved. Plant primary metabolites are poisonous, non-poisonous, and secondary metabolite may poisonous. The examples of primary metabolite we have studied: carbohydrate, fat, lipids, protein. And example of secondary metabolites like including alkaloids, glycosides, tannin, resin, gum, latex. All these are the example of secondary metabolite. Secondary metabolite always synthesized with the help of primary metabolite. You can say secondary metabolites are dependent on primary metabolites. So in this chapter, we have discussed about two pathways along with differentiation of primary metabolite and secondary metabolite with the example. Now we are going to see some multiple choice questions which is asked during the exams, and not only this thing, these questions are also important how we are going to solve these questions in competitive exams. The calyx is composed of calyx. It is the part of flower, and plant part of flower, and it is available in the base part of the flower. You can say sepal, petals. Petals means leaf structure. We can, if we are going to understand this thing, then we can understand we can imagine the structure of flower. In structure of flower, what would we see? Uh, there are some petals are available surrounding the flower, and there are one base part that is called peduncle. In peduncle, there is a small leaf-like structures are available, that is called sepal. That is called sepal. Androecium and gynoecium, they are reproductive part of the flower. Androecium is the male part, and gynoecium is the female part, at which ovary is present, and ovals is present. And in androecium, uh, there is a male reproductive system, and they are responsible for fertilization in the flower, and after that fruit is going to form. Now, drug is not under the class of organized drug. Among all of the options, drug is not under the class of organized drug. Leaf, flower, fruit, gums. Leaf, what is the definition of organized drug? In organized drug, they having a proper shape, proper structure. In leaf, they have proper shape. Flower, they have proper shape, originate from primary metabolites. Fruits, they have proper shape, they are always synthesized from primary metabolite. Gums, they are secondary metabolites, which we have discussed now, primary metabolite and secondary metabolite. So gums always produced from secondary metabolite, and their structure is not uniform. The structure is not uniform. Gum has amorphous structure form. So the answer is D. The leaf is always the leaves of the following is effective except digitalis, senna, turmeric, vasaka. Uh, mean to say that in the in this question, which of the plant in which we are not using leaf, means the question can be asked from any part of the drug. So leaf of the following are effective except one. Then digitalis purpurea, leaf are we are using for obtain glycosides. So this is not answer. Senna leaf is also used for glycosidal anthraquinone glycoside. Turmeric we are not using leaf structure for turmeric. The answer is C. Vasaka leaf having peppermint smell. Next one, drug which is volatile oil. Drug which is volatile oil. So peppermint, yes. Yesterday we have also discussed about peppermint. So answer is peppermint. Cod liver oil obtained from the fish, and this is fixed oil. Castor oil is also fixed oil, and groundnut oil obtained from the groundnuts, and they are also fixed oil. So answer is peppermint oil, which is volatile oil, or obtained from the steam distillation method. Now next one, the drug is not an example of unorganized drug. Acacia, agar, cinchona, tragacanth. Tragacanth, it is a powder form. It is unorganized. Agar is also algae, and it is obtained from sea, and it is also we can use acacia agar in powder form. But cinchona, it is a bark. It is obtained from plant, and it is not an or unorganized drug. Means it is a plant part. Few purified calcination is called purified calcination is called churna, bhasma, kayasa, and gutika. Purified calcination, it is a process of bhasma. Herbs define as, what is the definition of herb? So simply seed bearing plant without a woody stem. It is called herb. Herb, shrub, tree. So herb is seed bearing plant without any woody stem. Means their stem is young and green, maybe green. Organoleptic evolution doesn't include. Organoleptic means these are the there are the evolution which we can do by the eyes. Color, yes, color we can see the color of the plant, and it is organoleptic characteristics. By the help of color we can recognize any plant. And evolution, sorry, taste we can taste the substance, and we can identify about the drug. So taste is also organoleptic. Order order means smell. By the help of smell we can identify this smell belongs to turmeric, this belongs to jeera, this belongs to fennel, this belongs to clove. We can by the help of smell we can identify the uh, drug. But pH, we can't identify the pH. So pH, it is the answer of answer is pH. PH is, it is not an organoleptic characteristic. An example of animal source of drug is, an example of animal source of drug is dextrose, yes. Colophony, yes. Inulin, in actually this option is not correct. Insulin. Inulin is also inulin is also a carbohydrate compound obtained from carbohydrate compound. So answer is C, insulin and phycillin. Next one, volatile oil is obtained by the help of distillation method, which I have speak now. Uh, by the help of fermentation. Fermentation, it is a biotechnological process, and by the help of fermentation process, we can obtain ethanol, and by the help of distillation process, we are going to obtain volatile oil. Specifically, if they ask the steam distillation process, it is the process by which we are going to obtain volatile oil. And next one, calcination. No, calcination process. By the help of calcination process, we are unable to obtain volatile oil and deodorization. No. What is the source of mercury drug? This question is very important. What is the source of mercury drug? Answer is mineral. Because mercury is obtained from mineral and it is heavy, heavy liquid, obtained in liquid state, and it is very heavy in weight, and it is not obtained from vegetable or animal, and microbiological. Bulb are category of Bulbs are category of root, leaves, fruit, and stem. Many times this question has been asked. Bulb is it is the characteristics of leaf. Root is potato is the characteristics of root, and fruit, general fruits, true fruits and false fruit. There are two category of fruits, but fruits are the obtained from the flower, floral parts of the flower, and stem is it is a different thing. So overall, these are the some brief introduction regarding our class as well as our topic, which we have included in this chapter. We have studied about cyclic acid pathway, we have studied about amino acid pathway, we have studied about primary and secondary metabolites, what is the importance of primary and secondary metabolites, and in primary metabolites, these are the metabolites which are essential for plant growth, plant reproduction, plant development. And in secondary metabolite, they are help indirectly. Examples of primary metabolite like sugar, lipid, fat. In secondary metabolite, we have seen alkaloid, glycosides, and other compound like tannin, resins, gums. These are the example. Primary metabolite never poisonous, and secondary metabolite may poisonous. So these are the complete introduction, along with their synthesis and their biosynthesis, and how they are going to obtain from the cyclic acid pathway, from the amino acid pathway. Thank you. And last one slide, reference. Thank you.